Hello to all Red Giants fan. Good afternoon and welcome to One-Two live show. Nama saya Daniella Sya, host anda untuk kali ini, and this show is powered by MBI. Untuk One-Two kali ini kita ada topik special untuk berbual dengan two of our really special guests, dan kita juga ada special raya giveaway untuk penyokong Red Giants yang setia bersama saya habis show ini. So kita sembang dengan guest kita hari ini, tapi sebelum tu kita ada video untuk you, khas untuk you from Brandon Gunn. Check this out.
Every day I work hard. From the time I wake up until it's time to wind down. I'm always ready for any challenges. I always give my best in everything that I do. It is never easy. Now it's a new challenge. I'm hungry for success. I want to do it with Selangor. Let it be known, it has begun.
Tak tahu lah cakap apa budak baru ni. Potong rumput kacau, main gym kacau. Ni datang gym buat kek ke main gym ke apa aku tak tahu. Kalau buat kek tu tak apalah, ajak lah. Ni makan seorang-seorang, main bola ramai. Lepas tu kerja kemas seorang, lepas tu menunjukkan, lepas tu aku je kena orang lain mana.
What a great video there. And of course, I do not need to introduce Brandon Gunn, who is one of the biggest stars for FA Selangor. But joining us today, we also have Helber Richard, the head of physio, and along with Brandon Gunn with us. So how are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah. So it's the MC. Sorry, Helber?
I am also good, thank you.
That's nice. It's the MCO. You guys have been stuck at home for a while now. How are you guys feeling about that?
You go, Helber, since you're the one that's by yourself all the time.
So first, hi Danielle and Brandon. I'm doing well, and I hope both of you also. Yes, everyone knows it's very hard, it's a momentum this time during this MCO period. But I'm trying to keep my routine with my work, my studies, and also with my training activities.
Lovely. And you're from Brazil, right?
Yes, I'm from Brazil.
So that's a long way from home. Do you miss your family? What's happening? I mean, do you talk to them all the time?
Yes, of course. I miss them already 6 months here now in Malaysia since December. So, but this time I can spend a bit with them with the video calls, and this is very good.
I see. And Brandon, how about you? Like, what is your family life like?
Yeah, it's a lot different to what it was before the MCO. It was all about training, about playing games, always away for games. But now, stuck inside with the family. It's actually quite nice, because I have a small little boy, and get to watch him grow up a little bit more, which is exciting. See him do some things that I probably would have missed out on if I was to be still playing at the moment. But as Helber said, it's all about routine and making sure that your mind stays sane, and making sure that my day is filled up with exercises, activities, and the programs that we have set from Selangor.
So keeping yourself disciplined, that's key.
Mhm.
So now I have a question to Helber. So as an ordinary Jane, I really wanted to know what a physiotherapist actually do. And what is their role in the football team exactly?
Yeah. So for basically, I divide our work as a sports physio in three steps. So three stages: pre-season, in season, and off season. So on pre-season, we follow up the medical checkups, players' medical checkups with our team doctors. Also, we follow up the fitness test with the fitness training, and also we as a sports physiotherapy we perform also our physiotherapy assessments with the players. So in this stage, also when we have the all results from the team doctor, fitness trainer, and also our results, we need to plan our interventions for to be made it in season. And then when we go to in season, we need to apply our interventions as an individual or as a group protocols like for injury preventions. Also, we have training and games follow up. So we follow all the training sessions from our squad and also games. So we travel with the team for our games. So you have your work also like training load control and also recovery strategies for after the match. Also, during this period, we perform all the injuries recovery from the injury until the return to play of the players. And also, we need to have a good communication between our department and with the staff coach, especially with the head coach. So, by week, we send for the head coach a report with the players' condition. And also by monthly, we need to send a report for our management with the injury rates in the month. So when we go to off season, our work is basically we need to send the final season report for the head coach and the club, and also we need to plan our work for the next season.
I see. Wow, that sounds really technical, but you're a pro. You got this. You got this handled.
Yeah.
Of course. So I have a next question to Brandon. But then before that, I just want to remind kepada siapa-siapa yang tengah tune in sekarang, kalau you ada apa-apa soalan, you can just write into us, you can type into us, and I will ask Brandon or also Helber if you have any questions about the players, the team, the role of a physiotherapist, any pro tips from Helber, just ask away. So to
Yes.
Brandon, as a player, can you describe a bit of your relationship with the physio team? Don't go personal, just professional stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I can see like you guys have a very good dynamic already, but
Yeah, we have many stories together. But
Yeah.
I've only been at the club for a short period of time, but we've already created a good relationship. But I always say about physios, it's a love-hate relationship because they fix us when we are injured, but at the same time, the treatment, it always hurts. There's nothing that is ever nice about getting treatment. Whether it's dry needling, which I hate, which Helber loves to do. He loves to put pain into you, but at the end of the day, it fixes you and gets you back on the field. So, it's very important to have physios in football, especially at the professional level,
yeah,
because as a footballer, you want to spend the most time on the field. When you are off the field, that is where you are mentally down, or it takes that physical aspect away from you, which then you have to gain to become part of the starting 11 again. So it's always a difficult situation, which I think is why we have such a good physiotherapist. It shows that at the moment, that a lot of playing injured with soft tissue injuries, we're allowed to bounce feedback off of the physios if we have any problems or have any questions. And I think that's the best part about it, because as a footballer, I love to learn about my body. I love to learn about how to stay fit, how to stay strong. And those questions have to come from the physio and the strength and conditioner. And to have a physio like Helber and strength and conditioner like Arn, it's only a positive for our team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So as someone who does not play football, I do have a lot of friends who do, however, and this particular term always comes out, like ACL injuries, and I'm like, what is it? And whenever it happens to someone that I know, it's always like the worst thing that could ever happen. So, Mr. Helber, could you elaborate on what this whole ACL injury thing is about? Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. Yes, especially if you think for a football player, for them thinking, they knee is like their heart,
Right.
So when an ACL injury they had this injury is very difficult for them. So they might become a bit problem, with this injury, especially because we know the ACL injuries is one of the most common injuries in modern football now. Whatever the football medicine with the team doctors and the sports physiotherapist area with us have improved a lot in the last years. So with the doctors, we have the new technicals, new procedures about operation. And by our side, sports physiotherapists, we have a new protocols for the rehabilitation for ACL injuries. Mm-hmm. So basically now, what is still no good for ACL recovery is about the time, because the new studies, the new papers show to us this period is about 9 to 12 months. So it's a bit too long for the players, and this become a boring for them. But but these protocols now give for them a lot of benefits. So and then safety return to play. So in almost of the cases, the prognosis for ACL recovery after ACL reconstructions is very good now. Mm-hmm. And when I have opportunity to talk about ACL, I want to remind for the sports physiotherapists and then also for the strengthening conditioning coach, we need to have a good combination for success. So we need to have a good surgery preparation. After that, with the doctor, we need to have a good operation. And then after this, we need to have a good rehab process, a good planning by your sports physiotherapists. And then player collaboration in this process also is very important for you make sure this rehab and have success.
Right. That sounds really intense. But let me just get back to that topic in just a bit. Right now, we're going to the audience. We have questions from our fans who are tuning in right now, and this one is from Abdullah Aziri. Sorry, can we have that again? Abdullah Aziri Pauzi, and he says, "Hi, Brandon. How much weight?" Sorry, I lost it again. So we're just gonna pull that up real quick. How much weight do you gain or lose during this MCO?
Thank you for the question. That's a funny one. I think every player is different. I think every person is different during the MCO. For myself, I'm pretty good with my regime of healthy eating and whatnot. I usually stick to a 80-20 percentage of eating 80% of the time healthy, and then having those 20% of the time where I can have whatever I want, the cakes, the ice cream, whatever it is. But at the moment, for the actual question, I haven't lost any weight. Depending if these scales are correct, maybe someone has tampered with them and made them stay the same weight. But at the same time, Helber does weigh-ins before every training and before every game, and then after every training and after every game, so we can gauge our weight losses and weight gains. But throughout the whole season so far, I've kind of stuck at the same weight as it is. Whether I eat, a lot or whether I don't eat enough, I'm kind of pretty good sitting at the same weight as what I want to be at when I play. So yeah, I actually haven't. I weighed myself yesterday, and I actually haven't lost any weight, and I haven't gained any weight yet. So I don't know whether that's a good thing or bad thing, but we'll see when we come back to training.
Do you have like
Brenda,
a target
hey,
that you're?
sorry, Daniela.
Sorry.
Sorry, Daniela. So, Brenda, your weight is 72 or 73?
Yes, exactly, exactly 72.
Are you supposed to be any heavier or any lighter?
So at the start of the season, I said to Helber and I said to Arn, I usually like to play around the 73, 74 mark. And I was finding it a bit difficult because we had a lot of running training in preseason and a lot of fitness, cardio sort of stuff. So I wasn't able to put on that weight, which I usually do by, doing heavy weights or whatnot. But because we were doing a lot of running, I wasn't able to do this type of program. So I was sitting around the 72 mark, and Helber and Arn came to me and said, maybe, this is a better weight for you to be at. It's been good for me so far, throughout. I've felt pretty good throughout the first few games. And at the moment, I'm sticking to that 72. So maybe I don't have to go back to training and take my weight anymore, Helber.
Well, thank you so much for your question, Mr. Abdullah Harizi. But right now, let's head back to the ACL topic that we were just talking about right before this question. And so I was told that, Brandon, you survived the ACL injury 2 times. It's been twice that you've actually had this problem, injury. And so what I really want to know is, how did you actually manage this whole thing when going through it? And how did you come out of it as well?
Yeah, it's
mentally.
It's obviously the worst thing for a footballer to happen, worst injury to happen for a footballer. Obviously there are other things, in terms of breaking things like bones and whatnot, but the ACL is everything, as Helber said. It's the biggest ligament that runs through your knee. And as soon as that snaps or ruptures, you've lost all stability within your knee. So, and as a footballer, we rely on stability to be able to turn, to be able to take off, sprint, stop. So it's very important. But to go through the first time, I was quite young, so I didn't really know what I was getting into. So it was almost exciting. I knew a lot of my friends and whatnot had been through it, football friends, that is. And, to get through that first one was I wouldn't say easy, but it was easier than the second time that I did it. The first time was no mental. It didn't take any negative mental capacity from me. It was all positive. Everything I did was quite new and a new experience. So I took it as a positive. But the second time was the most difficult time because I knew exactly what I had to do. I knew exactly what timeline I had to do it in. And I think this was the biggest part for me because, a lot of people going through ACLs would say that, 80% of it is the mental side of the injury, whereas the 20% of the side, is the physical part, which we do anyway every day. We're in the gym, we're doing rehab, we're doing prehab. Every day we do that stuff. So that stuff comes easy to us. But it's when the mental side kicks in and you have to fight through struggles is where it was very, very difficult to come through. But yeah, as you say, I came out of that first one feeling quite positive, and I lasted a year before my second one started, before my second one happened. And coming out of that second one was probably the most difficult time in my life. To come out of that and then have the opportunity to play football again, I think was the best part for me. If I didn't have that opportunity to play again, then maybe I could have gone on a different path. But I'm always a positive type of player, and I came out of that with the mindset that I can get through anything if I can get through 2 ACLs.
Right, and so, coming out of that or recovering after ACL, will that affect any future performances?
Well, you would think so,
unless
yes.
you feel properly, or sorry.
Yeah, well, you would think it would, but yeah, I had a great team around me. I was back in Australia when I did the surgery, and I had a physio there at the time who was much similar to Helber. Knows football very well, and I think that's the most important part, to have a physio that knows football extremely well and knows the dynamics that you need to have as a footballer, so they can set the rehab programs around those type of things. So yeah,
Right.
you would definitely think that you would come back, not as sharp, not as fast, not as strong, but at the same time, I worked really hard behind the scenes that no one ever sees. Everyone sees the stuff that you do on TV, but no one sees the stuff that you do behind the camera. So
Yeah.
12 months of hard work has allowed me to come back, and I've just been positive ever since then, and hopefully I can keep up my performances.
Wow, that's very positive. Yeah, I like your spirit. And speaking of what goes on behind the scenes, Mr. Helber, since it's MCO here in Malaysia right now, or really in most of the world, how do you keep track of your boys or the players to make sure that they don't play around per se, and they keep to your regimen so that they're good to go when this whole thing is lifted?
Yes. Well, for our players, we recommend for them to stay at home and train at home, and just go out for essential activities, and then also they are
Do you
personal.
text them every day and go like, "Hey, don't leave the house"?
Yes.
6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m.
Yeah, sometimes no every day, but by week we keep in touch, and then before that we have create a home training program. So by our fitness training, Coach Ann, with the focus on fitness and strengthening programs, and by myself with a focus on injury prevention programs. And then during the week, we monitor them. And if the players have any problem, any issue, any question, they contact us, and then we can solve this problem with WhatsApp message or video calls also. So we monitor them like this. So we started. It's very hard to monitor this during these situations. So we have the technology with us. This is helping us a lot. And then we start this job on middle of March, and until now. And then I don't have nothing to say for the players. They're really doing well, and I hope this MCO finish early, and then we can start training back again.
Right. Okay. So we have questions from our audience right now, and this is from Ridwan Mahmoud. So, Mr. Helber, are you using ice on muscles, muscle pain, or is that a myth?
Yes. So, ice in football is very common to use during the sports physio treatment. So I use ice local in the muscle pain. Example, after a muscle injury recovery. So when these players come back to return to play, normally after this training session, I use it. And also I like to using my strategies for recoveries, even after training or even after the match, ice bath. So I do this work with the boys, with Selangor players a lot, for keep they fresh and recover for every training and game sessions.
I see. So thank you so much for your question, Mr. Ridwan. But
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you guys have any other questions in the audience, and if you want to ask Brendan anything or Helber anything, just type it in. But so this is a little bit of a personal question, because I'm a bit of a gossip queen, Mr. Helber. Can you tell me or describe to me how your most difficult patient or player is like when, say, if you want something done, and then, what is the resistance that you get or that you mean?
Yes.
Wait. Tell us who the player is also.
No.
No,
this is
okay, no names mentioned. I just wanna I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Sometimes the humor of the players is a bit different between them. Some players is more collaborative, another players is have some restrictions, but we understand their point, and then we just propose the best treatment, the best training session for them. So this they really know, and then and also we understand the players when they are a bit tired or no mood to do that program, and we try to keep it in between us and them, but we need to make sure they need to do a bit what we propose to them.
Right. Like just chain them on their legs. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so I saw Raya's coming up. Of course, everyone knows this. We're currently in the month of Ramadan. And on Brandon's Instagram, I saw him wearing a baju Melayu. So are you learning something new while you're here in Malaysia? I mean, are you learning something new every day? And how do you always stay fit and shredded exactly like your video during MCO? Tell us your reps. Your
yeah, the first part of the question, I love to immerse myself in the cultures that I live in. I think it's important to learn about every culture, and I think it opens up your eyes to the world and allows you to see have a different perspective on life. So I love immersing myself in the culture, and wearing the baju Malaya is something new to me, but also something that I enjoy doing. So, I'm sure there'll be many more times that I will wear a baju Malaya. So,
what color is your favorite? Yeah.
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I think I'm going to have to go and try some more on and see what color suits me the most. But that one was, I think it was like almost a pink one. So, I'm not afraid to wear pink. I can say that much.
Real men are not afraid to wear pink.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they say anyway. But the second part of the question, it's all about, as I said before, it's all about diet and making sure that you watch what you eat and not overeating or not undereating. It's important during this MCO period. We're not doing as much exercise, playing as many games as we were before. So we have to make sure that we cut down on the the carbohydrates or whatever it is. Yeah. But at the same time, you have to exercise. I think exercise is not only good just for your physical form, but also your mental form, because the fact that you're staying at home for so long, 50 days, I think it's been, and your mind wanders, your mind goes crazy. So it's important to be able to have a type of routine, and maybe that is 30 minutes of exercise a day, which, I'm sure everyone has. If they're staying at home, they have 30 minutes to be able to do a little bit of exercise and, freshen that mind. So that's how I try to look at it anyway.
Is 30 minutes enough for you?
Yeah, 30 minutes can be enough for just the average person. 30 minutes a day would be plenty for them, but for an athlete we have to do a little bit more, which is okay because it's our job. So we will get out there and do a little bit more, whether it's 2 sessions a day or whether it's just one longer session. So there are different ways to put it, but 30 minutes a day for the average person is plenty.
I see. All right. So now we are moving to the questions from the audience. So this is from Faiz Zaharian. How about the chemistry in the team during the MCO? Due to the MCO, do you think the players and the whole team can keep... Sorry, can we have that again? Do you think the players and the whole team can keep up with the league when the league is back in action?
Is that for me or for Helber?
I think for the both of you guys.
Yeah. Well, I think the chemistry for being in, we have our own, obviously, our WhatsApp groups, and we have Zoom meetings quite a bit with the players, and our chemistry is is good. There's a bit of banter that flies back and forth within the groups, and the boys, always say, and we always keep in contact and make sure, that we're all still, doing what we need to do every day. But I think the chemistry is fine. It'll be good to be able to get back into training and, get back that chemistry on the field. Because you do tend to lose a little bit of that when you were away for so long, especially like an off season. When you come back in preseason, it always takes that a little bit of time to get back together and playing well together. But I think we'll be fine. We've caught up on Zoom and whatnot a few times, and the chemistry looks fine. So fingers crossed when we get back into the league that we'll start our winning ways again.
Right, Mr. Helber, do you want to contribute to anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
In my view, I agree with Brandon. So when I hope in this time they can keep their training, for stay more active as possible. And when we come back to training, we need to assess then again with our fitness test, with our assessments for really know their condition, and then program for one more preseason again. And then this period will be in between 2-3 weeks. So I think also with this time we can get them very fit for the next games in the league and also Malaysia Cup.
I'll let you know something, Daniella. Preseason is the worst part of the season.
Okay.
So whenever you hear the word preseason, it is the worst.
Right. Do you guys have hold on, we have another question here from Simon Mason Lim. Ask Gani how he manages his hair since barbers and hair salons are closed during the MCO.
Thank you, Simon. So Simon's a part of our management team, and
I see.
it's actually been quite hard. As you can see right now, my hair's all over the place, but I think everyone's going through the same thing. I did try once through the MCO earlier on to cut my own hair. You could say it was an experience. I won't say it was good or bad, but I attempted to do that. But now I've started to grow out my moustache and my little beard. But I think that has to go because my son doesn't like it at all when I give him little kisses.
What does he do? He goes like, no.
Yeah, he just squirms away. He actually can't talk at the moment, so he kind of has to deal with it.
He's just like, okay, no.
Yeah.
When dad's around, no.
Exactly.
So back to the whole chemistry and teamwork and the whole dynamic within FA Selangor and yourselves. So the both of you are not from Malaysia. So who are your closest friends within the team? Do you have like a bestie within the team with that you talk to all the time?
So for myself, obviously Helber would have a different person that he's best friends with. But for myself,
such a shit question. I'm sorry.
For myself, I get along with everyone in the team, and that's an important thing to do. Especially as a football player, you need to be able to basically make sure that you will die for that person on the field. You will make sure that you will do everything you can to help that person out. And I always believe in that because it's a team sport. If you want to be an individual and have an individual outlook, then go play tennis or go play golf. But when you're a part of a football team, you all must be together, and you all must make sure that you are giving 100% for each other. So for me, I have to get along with everyone to be able to do that. And I get along with everyone, and I'm quite new to the team at the moment. So I've been loving getting to know these players, getting to know their backgrounds, and getting to know what they like to do, what they don't like to do. And it's been an interesting few months so far.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes, by myself, I agree with Brandon. In team sports, we need to have a good relationship with everyone. And especially for us as sports physiotherapists, we have this contact every time, every training session, every game with all the squads. So I really are lucky because FS Selangor players squad is very good. They are very receptive for me. And then I also, when I come here, I already know some players who's already working with me before, like Wanzek and Jai, and so this become more easy for me. And I think this is good point for one team become strong and reach the targets, the goals in the season.
Okay, so we are. It's time to wrap up our show actually right now. Mr. Helber, do you have any pro tips that you want to share right before we wrap things up with our audience?
No, I think it's very good, our chat today, our discuss. First, I want to thank you, Daniella and Brandon. It's a pleasure to be here with both of you. And I also want to thank FS Selangor for the invitation. And I also want to thank all her Giants fans to be here with us.
Thank you very much for being my audience. And yourself, Brandon, do you want to show some love to your fans? Your
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Helba, you're amazing, my friend. You're amazing. How good and political was that comment? But yeah, no, I hope everyone's staying safe during Ramadan. Also, coming up to Hari Raya, try to stay safe with your families and your friends and whatnot. Make sure you do what the government is saying, and hopefully we can get over this fast, so then we can get back to football, so we can try to win games for all of you watching now. We'll do our best when we get back to training to regain our fitness and get to our goals, our targets. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Daniella and Helber. But yeah, stay safe, everyone. Make sure you are doing what the government says, and hopefully we can get through this all safe and together.
Thank you very much, Brandon. And there we have it. And seperti yang dijanjikan, FA Selangor dengan saya nak bagi you free baju raya. So kalau you nak menang baju raya free dari Kri dan juga dari Tuatu, hit to our Instagram right now to find out how you can win it. All right. So thank you so much to everyone that is tuning in. Thank you so much, FA Selangor, and to our audience. I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, stay at home. Kita adalah satu.